and welcome to finally another 3-string cigar box guitar lesson. So I've been a little bit slack this year, I must admit. I do apologise. So I decided to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to try and do some shorter lessons. So this is a weekly classic rock riff and riff of the week. Sadly, Ozzy Osbourne passed on recently, so Black Sabbath, Iron Man, one of their most famous tunes, and a great one to start with because it's a little bit easier than some of them because it's not that fast, so you'll be able to play quite a bit of it. Because I'm trying to make these videos a little bit shorter, I'm not actually going to cover the entire thing. I'm just going to look at a couple of riffs, maybe have a little play through some of the parts I don't cover towards the end of the lesson. And I'm in G, D, G, which is our standard tuning. So I imagine most people are tuned to this, which is why I'm doing the videos in this tuning. However, if you wanted to play along with the original recording, you could retune, or you could find yourself a spare 3-string and retune to E, B, E. And everything we look at here today, all of the riffs, all of the fret positions, all the chords, are going to fit perfectly along with the original recording. So let's get straight on with doing a bit of Iron Man. Okay, so here's our tuning. We've got low G, we've got middle D, and we've got high G. So like I said, we're learning this one in GDG tuning. And what we're also going to do is we're going to learn an easy version to start with. It's quite a lot of string sliding here, so I'm going to do a one-fingered version of the main riff and then add in the second note to create power chords afterwards. So everything's going to be up and down with finger 1 on the middle D string to start with. So we've got open D, and then we're straight to fret 3. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep my thumb directly behind my first finger at all times because I've got to turn these into power chords. And then we pick that fret 3 again and slide up. So the trick with a slide is you don't take the pressure off. So you pick 3, slide up, and then re-pick 5 when you arrive there. Just check the slide from this angle, so my thumb is following, it's not staying in one place. So when I go from 3 to 5, the thumb needs to go up as well. So we've got open, 3, re-pick 3 again, slide up, everything moves up. Then the next set of slides are a bit quicker. So you shift all the way up without making a sound. You shift all the way up to fret 8 and you do a short slide down to 7 twice. And then the third time from 8 you do a longer slide down to 3. So watch me, see my thumb, it's moving. And then I'm going to re-pick 3 and finish at 5. So rock riff, we're using a flat pick here, so I definitely recommend using one. If you've got any issues with any of these basic techniques, including slides, hammer-ons and pull-offs later on, you can check out the fantastic Complete Beginner course from Coded Tuition. So I'll put a link up there, you can check it out. But let's continue. So we've got open D, and then we go to fret 3, and then we re-pick 3, slide up, arrive at 5. You've got to maintain the pressure when you slide from one fret to another. Move up, don't make a sound, just position shift up to 8, and then quick slide down to 7, do that again, and then slide from 8 to 3, and then re-pick 3, up to 5, re-pick 5. So hopefully not too tricky. Here is the timing. So it's 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So this bit's definitely the most difficult, just because it's a lot faster than the rest of it. And here's a click. Now the original's quite slow. It's only 73 beats per minute. So this is 45, I believe. So we've got 3, 4, we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So 45 BPM sounds pretty slow, although as soon as we start doing these quarter beat notes, it actually ramps up, you know, so plenty of stopping and rewinding, and keep it as loose as you can. Slides should feel smooth, so don't have a death grip or anything like that. But when you can do that, we're going to use exactly the same timing, and we're going to create some power chords. Now, from the first open D, the power chord is always on the high G if you're starting from the D string, and it's 2 frets higher. So fret 2 is 2 frets higher than the open D. And then when we go to the fret 3 note with our first finger, you probably want to go with your 3rd finger. You can use your pinky if you want, but probably your 3rd finger, 2 frets higher on fret 5. So we've got that shape. And then we're just doing a kind of big pick, strum through the top 3, trying not to hit the bass string. And then a little bit more difficult, slide in the power chord. And then re-pick. It's exactly the same timing, we're just adding that extra note on top. This is the most difficult bit. So doing the fast, only one step down, but the fast movement, trying to maintain the same relative distance between fingers 1 and 3. You might have some fun and games with that to start with, but it's 8. I'm only talking about the fret that the first finger's on. That's always 2 frets higher, so that's fret 10. So it's 8, 7, 8, 7, and obviously you're dropping down to 9 there when you go to 7, and then all the way down to 3 and 5, and then slide up again. The slide ups you can easily bunch up, so you got to maintain a distance between them. And you can have your thumb like that. You might find it easy to be a bit more precise with it further around the back. And we're going to go for the verse, which he sings over. That's single notes. We're going to play it ever so slightly differently though. We're going to start from the open D, go to fret 3. This time we're going to hammer on. I'll show you these in a minute. And then instead of going all the way up to fret 8, we're going to go for fret 3 and fret 2 on the top string. Same notes but different string. So they're pull-offs. So flicking the string off from 3 to 2. Do that 3 times and then land quickly onto fret 3 of the second string. And then a quick position shift to your first finger, hammer on again from 3 to 5 on the middle string. So the timing for this bit is exactly the same, so I won't cover that, but hammer-ons, so you hold finger 1 in place and you tap down, so you pick and don't re-pick again. You create the note with that finger slapping down pretty quickly. Again, these are covered in that beginner course if you want to check that out. And the pull-offs, it's the same deal, but what we want to do here is we want to fret 2 of them at the same time, and it's basically like you're plucking with your fretting hand, so your second finger's plucking, but we're already fretting fret 2 with your first finger. So you can hear, it's a slightly smoother sound. It's not quite as loud as just picking the notes themselves, but you want to make sure you get a pluck so you can still hear a nice attack on that fret 2. Do that. And then straight onto fret 3 of the middle string, and a quick adjust to finger 1. So because this is riff of the week, that is the riff. So I'm not going to cover anything else in detail, but I will just do a quick play along of the other 2 parts, which are in the main bulk of the song before he kicks in with the blistering guitar solo. When I get my act together, I'll probably put a Patreon page together, and maybe I'll do slightly longer lessons and cover some of this. So watch this space. But for the time being, this is still at 45, and this is the little bridge riff which comes in early on in the song. 2, 3, 4. It's just a straight repeat, and then the third time finish on fret 5, big drum fill, da, da, ba, dum. Then it's back to the main riff again. Then there's a chorus which starts there, that's on a G chord, so nice big epic distorted. You can do extra fills, but it just lasts for 4 beats, and then F power chord, and then D power chord, riff, B again, G, 2, 3, fill it out if you want rhythmically, F, both power chords, 3, 4, then D. And you can always come home to the main riff there. And obviously, if you're in the correct tuning, which would be EBE, the names of all of these are changed. So you're actually starting on a B chord, and then you go into an E there in the middle. So I hope you had fun with that slice of classic British heavy metal, and we're back very soon with another riff of the week. I do believe we might be going to the Southern Hemisphere next, so watch this space, and I'll see you here again soon on Code of Tuition.